$1.87. That was all the money Della had. And the next day was Christmas. Della counted the money again. $1.87. There was clearly nothing to do but sit down and cry. So Della cried. After her cry, she went to the window and looked out. She saw a gray cat walking on a gray fence in a gray backyard. Tomorrow would be Christmas Day, and she had only $1.87 to buy her husband, Jim, a present. She had been saving every penny she could for months, with this result. Jim was a wonderful husband, and she wanted to buy him something special. Suddenly, Della turned from the window and stood before a mirror. Her eyes were shining. She quickly pulled down her hair. Now, there were two possessions of the Dillingham Youngs in which they both took great pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. The other was Della's hair. Her beautiful hair fell about her, shining like a cascade of brown waters. It reached below her knee and made itself almost a garment for her. And then she did it up again, nervously and quickly. A tear or two ran down her face. She put on her old brown jacket and her old brown hat. With a brilliant sparkle in her eyes, she ran out the door and down the stairs to the street. She stopped at a sign that read, Madame Sofronie, hair goods of all kinds. Della ran in. "Will you buy my hair?" asked Della. "I buy hair," said Madame. "Take your hat off and let's have a look at it." Down came the beautiful brown cascade. $20, said Madame, lifting the mass with a practiced hand. "Give it to me quick," said Della. For the next 2 hours, Della went from store to store, looking for the perfect present for Jim. She found it at last. It was a platinum watch chain, simple in design. It was perfect for Jim's gold watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be for him. It cost $21. She hurried home with the 87 cents. With that chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious about the time in any company. When Della reached home, she got out her curling irons and went to work repairing the damage made by her generosity. She curled her hair into tiny, close-lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a schoolboy. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long and carefully. "If Jim doesn't kill me," she said to herself, "before he takes a second look at me, he'll say I look like a chorus girl. But what could I do? Oh, what could I do with $1.87? At 7 o'clock, the coffee was made, and the frying pan was hot and ready to cook the chops. Jim was never late. Della held the watch chain in her hand and sat on the corner of the table near the door. Then she heard his step on the stair. She turned white for just a moment. She whispered, "Please God, make him think I am still pretty." The door opened, and Jim stepped in. He looked thin and very serious. Poor fellow, he was only 22 and to be burdened with a family. He needed a new overcoat, and he was without gloves. Jim's eyes were fixed upon Della. There was an expression in them that she could not read, and it terrified her. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor disapproval. He simply stared at her with a strange expression on his face. "Jim, darling," she cried, "don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold it because I could have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. It'll grow out again, you won't mind, will you? I just had to do it. My hair grows very fast. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a nice, beautiful gift I've got for you. You've cut off your hair? Asked Jim, slowly, as if he had not yet understood. Cut it off and sold it, said Della. Don't you like me just as well anyway? I'm me without my hair, aren't I? Jim looked about the room curiously. You say your hair is gone, he said, with an air almost of idiocy. You needn't look for it, said Della. It's sold, I tell you, sold and gone to its Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you. Jim seemed to wake up. He drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. Don't make any mistake, Dell, he said, about me. I do unthink there's anything in the way of a haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. But if you unwrap that package, you may see why you had me going a while at first. White fingers quickly tore at the string and paper, and then a scream of joy, and then, alas, a quick change to tears and wails. For there lay the combs, the set of combs that Della had worshipped for months in a Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoiseshell, with jeweled rims, just the shade to wear in her beautiful vanished hair. She knew they were expensive, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. And now they were hers, but the hair that should have worn them was gone. But she hugged them to her chest, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and a smile and say, My hair grows so fast, Jim. And then Della jumped up. Oh, she cried. She remembered her present for him. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. The dull, precious metal seemed to flash with a reflection of her bright and ardent spirit. Isn't it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You'll have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it. Instead of obeying, Jim sat down on the couch and put his hands under the back of his head and smiled. Dell, said he, let's put our Christmas presents away and keep them a while. They're too nice to use just at present. I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs.
That was The Gift of the Magi, the famous short story by O. Henry. Did you enjoy it? What about you? Is there someone in your life you would make such a big sacrifice for? What is your most prized possession? Something you would actually give up for the person you love? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If you liked this story, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more classic stories read slowly and clearly for English learners. See you in the next one.